to Manifest on Purpose. My name is Kimberly Williams. I am a mindset consultant specializing in manifestation. I help you align your mindset with the things that you desire in your life to help you manifest in your life. So what are you waiting for? Come on, let's go. Let's manifest on purpose. Hello, guys. Happy Friday. My name is Kimberly Williams. I am your host, and don't be so quiet. I know you're excited. It is Friday, guys. It's finally here. We have the whole weekend to relax. I'm here today to talk about something that's very important and something that we forget about. First, I want to let you know how grateful I am that you're here listening to the Manifest on Purpose Mindset Show. I am so happy that you've joined me today. If you're new, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this with a friend who may benefit from some of this wisdom and knowledge that we're giving here. Also, if you're my loyal listener, you've been here from day one, I want to welcome you back. Thank you. I'm so glad to have everyone here. So today we're going to talk about self-firstness. Can you genuinely say that you are completely putting yourself first? Many people are not able to. Many people can't say that. If you are one that doesn't, I hope this talk will change your life forever. For those that do treat themselves first, my intention is to elevate that status today. You are walking creators. That is so important. I'm always affirming that. You should too. You are a walking creator. You are manifestation in the physical. It's time to capitalize your biggest investment. Your biggest investment is you, guys. Yes, your biggest investment. That's you. Today, I'm going to speak to you about some of the ways to ensure that you get the best return on your investment, or you. Every time you hear me say investment, you can say you behind it because I'm talking about you. As I mentioned before, to manifest on purpose is an integrative approach to manifestation. Let's look at it like a triangle. Okay, we have 2 points in a triangle at the bottom. They come together gradually and they come to a focal point at the top. These 2 points on the bottom are the mind and body. As you align your mind and your body, they grow together. They grow up to that point. Is aligning your mindset with your body, which results in action. The more the mind and the body aligns, the more they grow together. The end result is the top point of the triangle, which I call spirit. Some people call it different things. Sometimes I call it spirit. To me, that part really represents my higher self. Yours depend on the journey that you're on and your spiritual path. So for some people, it may be God, or it could be Allah, it could be something else. But to me, I like to use that focal point as the higher self. The higher self is the best of all of me. That's the top. That's me at its finest. She is the all-knowing, flawless part of me. We all have that within. Not just me. You have that higher self. There's something higher within you. And that's what I want you to grasp. And that's what I want you to realize so that you know how important it is to take care of yourself. Knowing that part of yourself helps you become the person that manifests ideally or intentionally on purpose. Not saying that manifestation can't happen at any other time, because we're always manifesting. I tell you guys a lot. And it's not always what we want. Sometimes we manifest things that we want. Sometimes we manifest things that we don't want. That happens when we're not in alignment with mind, body, and spirit. Becoming one with yourself enables you to create according to your desires. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. The reason for speaking on this comes from an IG post that I posted on Wednesday. If you're not currently following me on IG, go on over and follow me at Manifest on Purpose, so we can show some love to each other. But anyway, the post was about my supermarket trip that day. As I was shopping, some orange and yellow tulips stood out to me. A thought popped in my head to get them, but I was kind of puzzled. I was thinking, like, what am I going to do with flowers? I again heard, get them. This is in the back of my mind. Something keeps saying, get them. And I obeyed. My higher self shared a lesson with me. It happened right after I purchased the flower. I was still thinking about, what am I going to do with these flowers? And I realized that there was a lesson in it for me. I knew it already, but I needed a reminder. Sometimes we need a refresher. Do you ever feel like that? You just need to be refreshed. You just need to be reminded who you are. Well, that's what this message was for me. The message was, don't wait for someone else to do it for you. Do it for yourself. Right there in that very moment, I immediately recalled the term that I've used over and over for several years. And the term is self-firstness. A spiritual teacher of mine was giving me a lesson about putting self first. He always taught me that putting yourself first is not being selfishness. It's not selfishness like a lot of people call it. It's actually the exact opposite. It's being self-firstness or using self-firstness. When I asked the question, if you're putting yourself first, a lot of you probably said yes. I'm sure that you did. Here's the key thing about that question. When I asked the question, I asked, do you completely put yourself first? You may be putting yourself first on a basic level. You may be putting yourself first on a job, but what about at home or in your personal life? It's important to put yourself first in all areas of your life. Your well-being also determines what you manifest. Remember, it's important to have that mind, body, spirit alignment, or that mind, body, spirit connection. You then can manifest according to your best intentions. Do you know that we all begin our journey in life with a partner? Yes, we all did. And we all still have a partner. This partner sticks with you through thick and thin, is there through every experience, and most importantly, is always with you and never leaves you, never leaves or forsakes you. Do you know who your partner is? Your life partner? I'm going to help you. Your partner is you. Nobody can ever get closer to you than you can get to yourself. You are the most important person in your life. And it's about time for you to start treating yourself that way. When you learn to satisfy all of your needs on your own, you won't be disappointed, or you won't have any unreasonable expectations of others. That's how we get away from those expectations we do for ourselves. I don't want you to think that you shouldn't be serving. It's not at all that. That is a part of everybody's journey. Service is. However, that journey starts with you. You can't be a healer if you're not whole. You can't spread love if you don't know what it feels like to be loved. You can't help others grow if you're not willing to grow yourself. It all starts and ends with you. There's a prerequisite for providing service to other people. The prerequisite is to love and take care of you. That's what you're supposed to do first before you can take care of anybody else. Because if you begin to start taking care of people or taking on stuff that you haven't even dealt with inside of yourself, you're not going to be very effective for them. You could possibly hurt them more than you can help them. And we don't want to be that way. We want to be whole first. We want to get in touch with ourselves and be everything that we want from someone else for ourselves. Today, I'm going to give you some ways to take care of yourself and to teach you how to love yourself. Now, this first way may sound a little strange at first, but hang in here with me. The very first way is to date yourself. Guys, I've done this so many times. This is something that was a habit for me. When I was a single parent, I would take my children on trips. We would go out to eat. We would just go and spend that time out together. And then when those phases grew away and I was just to myself, I continued to do the same thing for myself, and I truly loved it. Even though I'm married now, I still do the same thing and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's something that you all should try. What things do you like to do when you're alone? And the next question is, when is the last time you sat down and had a dinner by yourself? If you're not doing this, you need to consider doing it. It's something that, like I said, it's just been amazing for me. It's just so freeing. You don't have to compromise on the restaurant you go to or anything really. It doesn't even have to be dinner. Imagine your ideal date. What is that ideal date for you? One that you would like to go on, and plan that for yourself. Make yourself a standing date at least once a month, I would say, to start out. And when you do this, don't just go dressed any old kind of way. Get dressed as if you're going on a real date. Continue to do that. And when you do that, you're spending that time with yourself. You're going to be able to connect better because you're in tune. You're getting in tune with yourself. You're used to that alone time. You have that time where your mind is not cluttered from everything that's going on around you. You can just enjoy life and enjoy yourself for that moment. The very next thing is practicing periods of solitude. I'm not going to say go into hibernation mode. That's what I love to do. What I'm saying is take small chunks of time to be in silence and solitude. As I said, I love that hibernation mode. Don't get it twisted. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely for me. It's nothing personal. It's just that I love my me time. That's where I find my peace. So I do this often. Like I said, this does not have to be you, but take moments and snippets of your time during the day so that you can just relax and enjoy the company of yourself. The very next thing is to pamper yourself. This could be anything from a nice hot bubble bath to a spa treatment. Do something that makes you feel really, really good. For me, guys, it's either a pedicure or a hair wash. I think I have to go number one for the hair wash, especially if the right person is washing it. So I'll just go with those two things for right now. But there's many things that I enjoy doing to pamper myself. You should get in that habit also. Maybe you can include that within your date night, or take a day for yourself. Go out, pamper yourself first, do a little shopping, take yourself out to dinner. Just get it in. The same way that you would want to do with anybody else, do it for yourself. Speaking of doing it for yourself, gift yourself. I didn't understand at first what led me to those flowers in the supermarket that day. What came to me is that those flowers was a gift from my higher self. It was a gift for me, by me. It was a gift that made me feel deserving. To be honest, I've avoided flowers as gifts for a long time. I've never been the one that liked to receive flowers as gifts. I always felt like they died too quickly. And the one thing that I used to say was, when the person gives you the flowers, by the time the flowers are dead, the love is gone. And so, as you know, because I didn't know manifestation back during that time, I was manifesting that. So I had this thing with flowers. But when I understood the significance of the lesson, I began to value those flowers more than any flowers I have ever received. When is the last time you've had some fresh cut flowers? Well, what are you waiting on? Valentine's Day? No, go get your flowers while you're living. It doesn't have to be flowers. I'm just talking about flowers because that's what gave me the idea for the topic. It could be anything. Start buying gifts for yourself. That's all I want you to do. Get whatever it is you would like for someone else to gift to you. Give it to yourself. In other words, pay yourself first. And when you give yourself a gift, you already know what type of gifts you would like to receive. So don't skimp on yourself. Go ahead and get yourself that thing that you want. Even if it's only one thing a month, go ahead and do something for you. The next one is stop accepting emotional baggage from others. Don't allow people to dump on you. That's what I like to call it. Mary Sue, who never has any good news. During situations like this, you have to find balance. And you find that balance by either transforming the energy, or if that doesn't work, begin to limit the conversation time. This is why it is so important that your mental battery may be full before the conversation starts. We all have a mental battery, and we try to keep it full. We try to keep it full of energy. We try to make sure that we don't keep a lot of things there, stress, baggage, so that we can be able to function in our own lives. You need to make sure that your mental battery is charged before that conversation even takes place. That charge will stay that way longer if you're receiving positivity. However, if you're listening to a large amount of negativity, this will drain your battery fast. This is why you need some solitude. If you don't have a way to release this baggage, it will begin to weigh you down. So all of that stuff will lighten their load once they dump it onto you. But then you have to take on that weight, which drains your mental battery and keeps you in the red all the time. So it's best for you to either transform that energy to something positive, or either try cutting back your time or cutting down your time so that you won't take on so much at one time before you can fully recharge yourself. Now, this next one, guys, it may seem a bit bold for some of you. I want you to be a little arrogant. Just a little bit more. Be a little arrogant, but be arrogant with yourself. Be your own number one fan. Be your own cheerleader, your own coach. As a matter of fact, I do this often. I create routines for this. As I'm getting ready in the morning for something that's big or something important, I get ready. I listen to a playlist while I'm getting ready. The top 2 songs on that playlist, I'm going to share with you. I'm not sharing it anywhere else, just right here. But the top 2 songs on that playlist is So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast and Beyonce and Kanye's Ego. The reason why I like those two, because they really empower me. They really gives me that sense of, yes, you are royalty. And actually, we should all be feeling that way about ourselves. I'm not meaning go out there to other people and act as if you're above them. What I'm saying is you need to have confidence for yourself. You need to first build confidence for yourself. It's not good to have to rely on others for compliments or rely on others for your very own confidence, because that way you'll still be there waiting. And say, for instance, you might see Mary Sue and she comes up with her old negative talk, but now your confidence is not there because you're not being confident in yourself. What are you going to do to make yourself feel better? So begin to be confident within yourself first. If you're not confident within yourself, it's not going to show up when you need it to. Get up every morning and sell yourself to yourself. This is not about being selfish. This is about practicing self-firstness. That's what happens a lot of times in relationships. A person may come into the relationship that does not put themselves first. And by not putting themselves first, they are dependent on that partner to fulfill their emotional needs. Those needs that they should have developed before they even got into a relationship. My dad told me some good stuff. There were some wise things that he shared with me over the years that I have carried and lived by for so long. But one of the things my dad talked to me, he was really sitting down to me having a dad-daughter talk about boys. As a child, he made sure to tell me always work towards self-sufficiency. Always be able to depend on yourself so that you won't need to be dependent on others. I really feel like that's true, especially in this quest of self-love. Love yourself first, and you will then be able to spread that love to others. Always remember, no one can love you more than you can love yourself. It's just not possible. Next thing is stop being so hard on yourself. I keep telling people this. You might be mad because you broke your diet and you ate a half a cookie. So what? Start back over again tomorrow. We beat ourselves up all the time over stuff that really does not even matter. We beat ourselves up for imperfection, and to everyone else, things look perfect. As you begin to take the awareness of off the things that you're doing wrong, things will start looking right to you. It's not even that serious. Stop tearing yourself apart seeking perfection, because the truth is that you are already perfect in every way you can even think of. You're perfect. End of story. Those challenges are there to teach you. Don't be so consumed with the challenge that you miss the lesson in it or the message in it. That happens a lot. We let these little things that we call mistakes or failures, or however people want to term them, come in and just turn our lives upside down. But no, that is not correct. You don't allow that to happen. Just know that everything that comes in is delivering either a lesson to you or it's delivering a message to you. The very next thing, this is my message to you. Raise your standards and set your boundaries. This is when you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to accept in your life? Do this for all the areas in your life. Your job, your finances, your cars, houses, children, family, friends, relationship, Cover all areas. If you decide now you want to be at a higher standard than what you are now, look at where your standards are now and then raise them. Raise them to where you want your standards to be. Set that bar. Do you know that most of the people that have problems with setting boundaries and standards is because they are afraid to say no? And if this is you, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I just want to settle something right now with you. The best way to say no is no. It really appears that you are afraid of saying no. You're looking at it and you're like, I just don't like saying no. But there is a great chance that it's not even that. It's a chance that you're afraid of rejection instead. It's difficult to tell someone no because you have a problem with that rejection. You know how you would feel if someone tells you no, so you try to protect that other person because of how you would feel if it had happened to you. You know, all it is that it's a mirror looking back at you. Don't ever let someone push you to do something that you know is not right for you. Put your standards and boundaries in place and follow the guidance of your partner, the guidance of yourself. And like I said, this is not about being selfish. This is about being self first. You know what's best for you. Here's the thing about setting standards. Until you set standards for yourself, you're going to attract whomever is at the same level of standards as you are. If you want something more, you're going to have to raise your level of standards. Same thing with boundaries. People will do as much as you allow. But what's happening is you're setting a boundary, and every time you go past that boundary, every time you say, no, I'm not going to accept it no further than this, but then you turn around and go against that, then that means that you've set a new boundary. And that boundary is now higher. When we start allowing little stuff, those things start to become big. And then we're looking at something that's a whole lot bigger that you have to deal with because you allowed someone to cross those boundaries over time. I probably could have went on and on about this topic, but I'm confident enough to say that I shared a lot today. And I hope that you feel the same way too. As I stated earlier, we all came into this life with a partner. This partner has been and will remain with you through it all. That partner is you. If you have heard this message today and you are ready for self-growth, start with you as your partner. Apply some of these things you've heard today. Think about it. Try it, and don't forget, manifest on purpose.